Krishna, happy Kartik, everybody.
Happy Kartik.
Happy Kartik. So, as you know, Kartik is one of the most holiest, one of the most special times of the year. There's actually a shloka in the Skanda Purana. So, Skanda Purana is the Purana within which Damodar is explained, within which the true essence and holiness of Kartik is explained.
It's one of the 18 Puranas.
Actually, the entire Damodar is written by a Muni glorifying this Leela. He was so fascinated by it that he actually wrote the Damodar for this. Have any of you heard of the Hari Bhakti Vilas? Hari Bhakti Vilas is a commentary given on the Skanda Purana by our Acharyas, and within that they explain why Kartik is so special not only for Sri Krishna himself but to the devotees. So in the Hari Bhakti Vilas there's a shloka, and this is the one that we're kind of going to try to elaborate on today. It says, Hare Krishna, Na Kartika samo maso, Na Kartine sama yugam, Na Veda sadrisham satram, Na Kirtanam gangaya sanam. So what they're saying is, there is no month like Kartik, just as there is no yuga like Satya Yuga. You guys may have heard that there are 4 yuga cycles. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and the one that we're in is Kali Yuga. So Satya Yuga is the yuga where everything is so full of goodness. There's not even a need to farm. The earth itself gives you grains. There's really no poverty. There's no lack of spirituality. Everybody is automatically in the mode of goodness, and it's easy to think of Krishna or Narayan. So Kartik is like that. Everything just becomes easier. And then there's no scriptures like the Vedas. The essence of every single knowledge in the earth, the best way to be a human, the best way to be an employee, the best way to be a farmer, the best way to be a mother, a father, a daughter, a brother, a sister, everything. All of that highest essence, where can you find it? It's in the Vedas. So there's no scripture like the Vedas. There is no holy place like the Ganga. Everybody at the end, we try to go back to the Ganga. It is the holiest river. It comes directly from the feet of Lord Narayan. And just like that, there is no month holier than Kartik. So Kartik is compared to all of the holiest things and the holiest time of the year. So what is Kartik exactly? So Kartik is actually dedicated to Kartika Devi. Do any of you know who Kartika Devi is?
Radhe Radhe!
Yes, it's Srimati Radharani herself. And sometimes it's also called the month of Urjva. And Urjesvari is also one of Sri Radhika's names.
So the Kartika name, can I say?
Yes, please.
The Kartika name means Kartik. Her mother's name is Kirtika. Radharani's mother's name is Kirtika. So the Kirtika's daughter is Kartika. So that's why Kartika Mas is like the month of Radharani, Srimati Radharani.
Yes, and that's why it's so dear to Sri Krishna. Also, Urjva. Urja in Sanskrit means vigor, it means strength, but it can also actually mean life air itself. And that's why the whole universe's internal potency, the power of the universe, the spiritual strength within it, all of us, comes from Sri Radhika. And without her, actually, we have no single chance to understand what true surrender or love actually means. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Urjva is actually defined as Krishna's internal potency for performing pastimes. So imagine Krishna, who's completely full, supremely powerful. His potency for performing every single Leela is actually Srimati Radharani. She's the one that gives him that energy. She's Urjesvari. And so this month is dedicated to her. And Krishna consciousness, which is the path that we're all trying to be, the whole essence of it is thinking of what makes Krishna most happy. And what makes Krishna most happy is Srimati Radharani. So that's why Kartik is the most dear time for him. It's a whole month for her. And also if we meditate on Kartik, we realize that this is the month that Krishna performed his most intimate and dear pastimes with his devotees, and they reciprocated with him most beautifully in this month. On the very, very first night, as we were discussing, it's a full moon night of Purnima. That was the first night that Krishna took all the gopis and Srimati Radharani and performed the Rasa Leela. It was the one time where everybody left everything behind and just came to spend time with Krishna. And Krishna is so perfect that he made sure that every single gopi, every single person there thought, oh, Krishna is only dancing with me. But within that night, as everybody was thinking, oh, Krishna is only dancing with me, they actually got a little bit proud. In a most loving way. But they thought, oh, Krishna is only dancing with me. So Krishna actually for some time disappeared within that night. But the true reason he disappeared within that night is because he actually wanted to spend time with Srimati Radharani. So he killed two birds with one stone. He's like, okay, I'm going to make sure that all of my devotees are free of all ego, even if it's such a transcendental ego. And I'm going to make sure Srimati Radharani's desires are also fulfilled. And then afterwards, all the gopis are absolutely crying and in separation, so much so that every single dust in Vrindavan, every single tree in Vrindavan is so moved by their love that even today, the reason that we roll in the dust of Vrindavan, the reason why Vrindavan is so touched is because they associated with those gopis that loved Krishna so much. Then finally, when Krishna appeared again, they asked Krishna, like, why would you disappear from us? Why would you not reciprocate from us? And Krishna said that no, there's never a time where I'm not reciprocating. Everything that I'm doing, it's only to make your love greater for me. So one thing that is very important to note here is that there's really nothing that we can give Krishna except our love for him. And the best way to do that is to make sure that it is truly, truly for him. It is not with our own ego that we are giving this love. So not all of them, but the biggest pastimes in Kartik, that when I was kind of looking at what is so special about it, the one thing I found that was similar in all of the pastimes is it's always Krishna trying to take out ego from his devotees to make their love for him more pure. Imagine being in a place of the world where you have nobody competing against you. That is Brahmaji. He's the creator of this universe. No matter how many wars are fought in the material world between the demigods and the demons, nobody touches Brahmaloka. He's born supreme and he leaves his body supreme. He is the creator. There's no material place in Brahmaloka higher than Brahma. Even imagine the kind of devotee you have to be to have that position, right? But even he was bewildered by Krishna and thought, like, this little boy in Gokula, how can he be the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I am the entire creator, I control so much, and this little person is just eating with his cowherd boys and friends, tending to some cows. How could he be higher than me? So he took away all of the cows and all of the cowherd boys to see what he would do. And Krishna knew that, Brahma is thinking this way. He's becoming confused, becoming proud, thinking that, oh, how can somebody so simple be greater than be the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So Brahma literally just put all of them to sleep for 1 second and looked back. And when he looked back, all of the cows, all of the cowherd boys, they were still there. They were with Brahma, but they were still there on earth as well. Krishna himself expanded to become each and every cow, each and every cowherd boy, and reciprocate with his devotees personally in Vrindavan. And Brahma realized that, oh, there's nothing I can do to this person. He owns everything. He creates even me. Who am I to doubt him? And then one of the most beautiful pastimes, which Mira, Mataji, and Prabhu have a really amazing picture of in their home, you may have seen, is Govardhan Leela. So the entire Govardhan Leela was actually performed for many, many reasons, but one big reason was actually Krishna's love towards Indra Dev. So yes, you can create the whole universe and you can be Brahma, but also imagine being the king of heaven, having every possible enjoyment, opulence, anything you might want in full. Indra has everything. That's not an easy position to gain. The amount of austerities and karma that you have to get to be that, we actually all have had that opportunity, but yet we're still here. So it's not the end goal, but it's still something that's extremely commendable to become. Even Indra is a great devotee of Krishna, and every single year in Raj, they used to worship Indra because he used to provide the rains. But actually that's already his responsibility. Krishna gave him that. You will be the Lord of the rains, the sky, the thunder, and your job is to provide enough resources for us to have food and grains to do our daily activities. But to be grateful, the farmers and the people of Raj used to worship Indra. But he thought that that was like his right to get that puja. That yes, I'm giving you the rains and you should worship me because I'm doing something for you. But really he was doing his job. So Krishna wanted to show him that like, hey, don't have that ego. Do your service and do it because it's the right thing to do, but there's no room for ego in love. So Krishna actually said, why are we worshipping Lord Indra? We should be worshipping Govardhan Hill, which is giving us the grass that feeds our cows, which gives shelter to our cows, and they are our livelihood. So let's all worship Govardhan Hill. And he changed all of the preparations that were for Indra Dev to become for Govardhan. And Indra saw this and he was like, how could they do this? I'm doing so much for them and they have the audacity to stop my puja. And so there are these clouds at the time of destruction, when all of Kali Yuga ends and when really it's time for the world to completely restart anew. It's not just an ordinary rainfall. They're literally the clouds that cause complete destruction. They're called the Samantaka clouds. They're beyond nuclear power, right? Those are the clouds that Indra invoked to destroy this little village. They didn't have concrete structures, they didn't have hurricane, flood-proof anything. But these are the clouds that he invoked. It's one drop is like a pillar. One drop from these clouds. And he invoked all of them to go and destroy Gokul. And so Krishna saw this, and so what he did is he went to Govardhan, who they had been praying to, and with his small hands he lifted Govardhan, and on the tip of his left hand, not his right hand, but his left hand, on the tip of his left pinky, he held Govardhan up for 7 days and 7 nights. And they said actually not even one blade of grass moved on Govardhan Hill. Indra tried, with all of his resources, with all of his powers as the king of heaven itself, to destroy this one village, and not one blade of grass moved. So Indra realized that, like, okay, I'm not dealing with an ordinary village or an ordinary boy. I'm dealing with Krishna himself. I've committed a great offense to try to think that, you know, I should be getting everything that I should be getting. This is my job and I'm trying to compete with Krishna. What am I doing? So he was very, very remorseful. So he asked, what should I do? How can I say sorry to Krishna? So they said only one who is very dear to Krishna can pray on your behalf and help you get forgiven for this. So he went to Urjesvari Devi, which is our mother cow. He asked her, please pray on my behalf so that Krishna will forgive me. And she did. And there's a beautiful prayer given by Lord Indra where he realizes that, you know, I have my duties, but you are the one where all of these opulences, all of this energy, all of this power actually comes from. And he gave Krishna the name Govinda. I mean, who can really give Krishna the name? His name is eternally Govinda, it's eternally Gopala, but Krishna let this Leela happen to also reciprocate with Indra, who's actually his loving devotee. So he gave that pastime to Indra to not only let him know that, yes, although you have all this, it doesn't come from you, it comes from me. You do your service. But also to give Indra a chance to lovingly reciprocate back with him. And then the most well-known pastime of this month is also called the month of Damodar. Damodar means one who is bound on his belly. So many of you have seen that photo and seen that pastime. So Krishna's favorite food is what? Butter. And the reason for that is because butter represents our heart. We want it to be soft, we want it to be sweet, so that Krishna just takes it, and we want to offer that to him. That's also why we offer a lamp with ghee and milk products. It actually represents us offering our heart to Krishna. So one day Mother Yashoda was feeding Krishna, and she had let some milk boil. And as the milk was boiling, she realized that, oh my gosh, the milk is boiling. So she put baby Krishna down to go and tend the milk. And Krishna also wanted to say that don't put anything else before me. If I'm there, nothing else comes before me. So that's when he went to go break some pots and steal some butter. He got mad that his mom left him. And then Mother Yashoda went to go get the milk and came back, and Krishna was gone. And she followed the little footprints, and lo and behold, everything was a mess. Krishna was feeding butter to the monkeys. Krishna had broken so many pots. He was having the time of his life, but it was a cleanup mess. So she saw Krishna, she got a stick to punish him, and she started chasing him. And Krishna ran, and Krishna ran. And imagine the person who owns not only this world, the underworld, the overworld, whatever world, fears Krishna. This little child is crying and being scared of his mom because she has a stick. That is his love for Mother Yashoda, and he's giving her a chance to just be a loving mom to him. Then finally she caught him, and she said that this is not how good children behave. We will be taught a lesson today. So she tried to tie him up to a wooden grinding motor to show him that, hey, this is not how you should be behaving. But in one sense, she was also thinking that she was his mom and I can tie up Krishna. So she tried to tie him up. And the rope was a little bit too short. I'd say about 2 inches, two fingers too short. So she got more rope. Now, Yashoda Mai and Nanda Baba, they were also the rulers of Vrindavan. They had 999 cows. So you can imagine how much rope they had. She got all of that rope, put it all together, still tried to tie Krishna, and somehow it was just 2 inches too short. Now there are some commentary on this story that Srimati Radharani, who is also omnipotent and omniscient, she knew that Yashoda Mata was struggling to tie Krishna. So her, with her own mercy, there actually says, when Mother Yashoda asked, not only will I use my rope, I will ask everybody in Vraja, bring your rope. Srimati Radharani also gave her hair tie and added that to the rope. And with that, and with Yashoda Mai finally surrendering, saying, Krishna, you tie yourself. With that, Krishna got bound. Not with logistic endeavors, not with might, but simply with the mercy of Srimati Radharani and Yashoda Mata's desire to surrender. That was this is the pastime. With that, Krishna was like, yes, I am defeated. So there are the two fingers in that were lacking during this pastime represent our endeavor and the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Without either one of these, we cannot even desire to reciprocate or what to speak of bind Krishna. Another really interesting thing is Kartik is the time that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his Vrindavan Yatra. So every yuga cycle in Kali Yuga, there is a yuga avatar that comes and reestablishes the holy name. But only once in an entire day of Brahma. 1 second of Brahma is 1 year of ours. Like, time is completely relative, and in that realm it works just differently. So imagine a whole day of Brahma, thousands and thousands of thousands of our years and yuga cycles. In 1 day of Brahma, the Kali Yuga avatar is actually Krishna himself coming in the form of Srimati Radharani, coming in the heart of Srimati Radharani. Yes, to give her love to us and open the doors to actually understanding that ultimate love. So this was the time that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to go back to Vrindavan. So as soon as he took sannyas, that was the time when Mahaprabhu actually, they say, donned the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, and he actually opened up that aspect to his Leela. And so Kartik was that time that he started that yatra. Kartik was also the time that Srila Prabhupada went to Mumbai and started asking for his passage to come to America. So Kartik is the time that we start new endeavors. Kartik is the time that we try something more difficult, something newer. They also often talk about Kartik as Kartik Vrata. Vrata means vow. And the reason for that is because this is often a time that people do more sadhana. Sometimes they wake up earlier. They only eat once a day. There's all sorts of things. Actually, my mom and Sri Devi in India are doing that this year. They're trying to eat just once a day for Kartik. So this is a time where anything you do is multiplied by 100. And there's many aspects of Kartik that are described in Hari Bhakti Vilas, especially offering a lamp. So they say if you offer a lamp during the month of Kartik, the sins of thousands and millions of births perish in the blink of half an eye, in the half of a blink of an eye. Now that doesn't mean, of course, spend your whole year doing all sorts of nonsense and then be like, oh, Kartik's coming, I'm good to go. No, endeavor as much as you can. Intention is always important, but it's an opportunity during this time of Kartik to, restart. Also, it says that one who gets up and fasts during the Ekadashis on Kartik will never again enter into the womb of another mother. Also, it says if you offer just a lotus flower to Lord Narayan or Sri Krishna, Lakshmi Devi stays with that person forever. So therefore, Kartik is a time that is meant for us to really try to give up all the extra things that may not be as necessary and spend as much time as you can worshiping Sri Radha and Sri Krishna and using this time to better your own sadhana and try something new. Therefore, I encourage you all, I challenge you all to give up something small, and if you don't want to give up, then don't give up, just add. Do some extra thing in your life to make this 1 month, it's not that long, it'll go by quick. Take advantage of it and you will feel the difference. I remember last year, every single night after I would do Kartik, just everything was more quiet, everything was more peaceful. Every single day we do our little sadhana, but there's something about just having an evening time of doing sadhana that's different. Morning is beautiful, it's more inspiring, but evening it's just more peaceful. So I personally am not a morning person, so I love Kartik because it's a time to do it at night. So Krishna is very merciful that even people like me who has struggled to do sadhana in the morning, he gave a time of the year to do it in the evening. And so that's really the biggest thing about Kartik. It's a time that love is just flowing. It's just flowing, and it's up to us to take it upon us to try to receive some of it. Already, all of you have so much love. That's why you're here. That's why you're trying. So take advantage of it. The doors are ultra open during this time. Thank you so much.
Vivo!
Do any of you have any questions or comments?
So I just want to compliment you. I literally feel like you brought us to Vrindavan and brought us into the Leela of Lord Krishna with your talk. And I ask humbly, really, that when we have this recording, that you share the link, because I'm already thinking about people who I'm going to want to send it to who will benefit so greatly from it. And I really think that as you move forward over the next year, that you take the opportunity to give your perspective more often. So,
Thank you so much.
Vivo. Thank you, Mataji. It was very nice. Thank you. You gave all the beautiful stories and pastimes of Kartik, which is very beautiful and very important to understand when the Kartik month, why it is important. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Speaking of renown, there's one more occurrence I forgot to tell you guys. But one of the most holiest places on earth, Radhika, actually appeared during this time as well. And Krishna actually said at the time of the establishment of Radhika that there will be no place more dear to me than where you, Srimati Radharani, is there, and where your kund is there, which is actually filled not only with all the holiest rivers on earth, but is filled with your love for me. So that's why Radha Kund is so dear to Sri Krishna, and that special kund actually appeared during this time as well. And I'll tell you one one occurrence. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and over the past 1 or 2 years, Srimati Radharani for some reason really inspired my mom. She was always somebody who took very much care of the deities and loved Sri Krishna very much. And this is something you might not know about her, so I don't know if she's okay with me sharing or not, but I'm sharing it. But she really just started absolutely falling in love with Raj and Srimati Radharani. So in Mayapur, there's 2 lakes that are said to represent Shamkund and Radhakund, and they're actually said to be none different than the lakes in Vrindavan themselves. So she went to Shamkund, and she, worshipped it, touched it, and everything was beautiful. She said she felt so nice. And then she went to Radhakund, and she was trying to put a tulsi in Radhakund. And in that same moment, before she could even put the tulsi in, she slipped.
Oh.
She slipped, and she fell entirely into the lake.
Vivo.
I asked her, did you get hurt? Yeah, and she said, no, I was fine. I was absolutely fine. But before I even realized it, I was completely wet, and I was halfway into the lake. And my dad said, okay, now just go completely into the lake. Just go all in. Yeah, she just pulled her in. And she said when she went there, she had a feeling something was going to happen. Haribo! Everybody, this is Aishwarya.
Hi.
I've actually known Aishwarya since she was a super small kid. We grew up together in Oregon, and now Aishwarya moved to San Antonio. So I'm so honored that you came today. I'm so happy to see you again.
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. Aishwarya is now in med school, so she'll be with us for a few years, hopefully. Welcome. So yeah, Radharani definitely reciprocates. All of these places, their energies are extremely powerful, and even more multiplied during Kartik. So
I could feel Srimati Radharani's love for your mother when we did
Radhashtami.
Radhashtami, absolutely. Like the Shakti was just pouring out of Srimati Radharani.
Yeah, it's very special.
Yeah.
And when we got our deities in Vrindavan, the reason we even got these deities was my mom, when did we go to Vrindavan? It was in 2008. She just felt that, maybe we want Radha and Krishna. So we went to Vrindavan, we searched. We never found like the right deities that spoke to us. So we thought, okay, maybe Radha and Krishna don't want to come to us. On the last day, as we were literally leaving Vrindavan, my mom said, okay, no, we need to stop at this store. We need to stop at this store. Something is here. I don't even know why. But the moment she saw Radha Rajvihari, she just started crying. And she told my dad that we need to buy these DVDs. We were literally like on our way out of Vrindavan, and I just remember being in the store like for 2 hours, like, why are we here? Like, are we not leaving? And yeah, we literally bought the DVDs within the last seconds of leaving Vrindavan. And then they came with us, and we asked our Guru Maharaj, what should we name these DVDs? And he said, name them Radha Vrajvihari, one who always resides in Vrindavan, which doesn't really make sense because like we're literally taking them out of Vrindavan. But then I never realized until recently that they would make our home and this temple Vrindavan. And actually, yeah, my experience with this new home has been that like I really don't feel like we live here. I feel like they live here and they let us do our service here. So this is the first home that I feel, I mean, we've always had DDs and kept DDs as the center of the home, but this is the first time I feel like we're living in a house that truly is not ours. So they really created their own name, Radha Rajvihari. So thank you for sharing that Vrindavan is always a part of this family, because definitely these DDs create that wherever they go. Yes, thank you. And thank you all for all the love that you give this temple and my family. And we have so much love for all of you. Could not make it happen without each one of you. And welcome Aishwarya to the family. Any other questions or comments, or maybe your own experiences in Kartik?
I can say some stories.
Please,
Story time.
we would love to.
Prabhuji missed it. You missed it. So, sharing the importance of Kartik month. The story which really touched me was like the story of the third wife of Krishna. Who's third wife of Krishna? You always put me in center, you know, you tell me.
I'm recording.
Huh?
I'm recording right now.
Tell me, who's the third wife of Krishna? Jambavati is second. Third is
Satyabhama.
Satyabhama.
No, he's right.
So third comes
Yeah.
marriage third. So Satyabhama. You know the past life of Satyabhama? Satyabhama in previous life was Gunavanti. And she became Satyabhama, the wife, the third important wife of Krishna, because she took vows in Kartik month. She took Ekadashi and vows in Kartik month, and that's the importance of Kartik month. A devotee who takes a vow in Kartik month is been promoted to being a personal associate of Krishna, Satyabhama. So just see the importance. It's like when we think about the highest devotional bliss a person can have is, for me, it's like how lucky Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj are. Like, to see, there are so many songs. So same way, like how lucky a personal associate, a wife of Krishna, that's the promotion a devotee got when he took the Kartik month vow. So that is the importance of Kartik month, because it's so dear to Krishna, because it's Radharani. For Krishna, like, that's why Prabhupada always says, be like a Brajavasi. For Brajavasis, Radharani is more important than Krishna. They always sing, call Radharani, Krishna will come behind you. So that's why Kartik month is so important, because it's Kartika's month, the Radharani's month. So, she was telling the beautiful story of the gopis vanishing from Krishna. They sing the song called Gopi Geet, which is in Vrindavan. If you go in Kartik month, every temple they will sing this Gopi Geet in the evening. It's a very beautiful song where they're singing how Krishna, it's like, and that song, it's very clear that they understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality, but still, for them, Krishna is their lover. If you ask them, for example, when Lord Narada asked Krishna, why the Brajavasis are so important? He says, okay, I'll tell you. I have a headache. For my headache to go, I need a sand from the devotee's lotus feet. Can go and bring it. Can you give your lotus feet sand? He was like, no, I will get offense. Oh my God, how can I give you? He went to all the great sannyasis. They said, oh, to Krishna, the Supreme Personality, you are asking? No, we cannot give. They went to gopis, they made a mountain of sand. And then he asked, don't you know Krishna? Who is Krishna? So they knew very well who is Krishna. But for them, the love of Krishna is so important that let it be. Let me get punished in hell for eternity. Doesn't matter. Our Krishna should not feel bad. He should get cured. So that is the love of Krishna, the gopis and the Brajavasis. So that's why Prabhupada always says, be like a Brajavasi, because that's what is more important. Like, even in Kartik month, the most important thing is like, I know many, especially in Indian culture, many people are more obsessed about doing the sin. Will I do? Oh, I should take Kartik month, but if I don't do it right, if I don't do the lamp, one day I miss it, will I get a big sin? Let me not do it. No, then what they do is the easiest way they think is, let me not do it. Let me skip this. Let me skip. What if I'm offering fruit and one day I missed it? How much offense I will get? Let me not do it. But that is not what Brajavasi will do. Brajavasi, my lalla is there. My lover is there. Let me feel it. I will get sin, doesn't matter. If I miss one day, doesn't matter. Today he is happy, no? Today I could do and he's happy. That is more important. Similarly, the Kartik month bow, we should think that remember Krishna. If I remember tomorrow Krishna or not, depend on him. Today, if my Lord is happy, my baby is happy. Just like Brajavasi, Krishna is coming. Let me feed him today. Let me give him some good food. That is the concern. Whether I made the food correctly, whether it was made in a pure pot or not. That is not that should be a concern. I'm not saying that ignore that. I'm saying that should be a concern. But the love of Krishna is that let me give to Krishna. So please, in Kartik month, do the lamp. It's very, very divine month. Getting promoted to the personal associate of Krishna. It's so important. So please, bow the lamp and don't worry about if you could do it tomorrow or if you could finish the Kartik month or not. Leave it to Krishna. Just try. So that's all I want to say.
One thing about Kartik Ekadashi that you were saying is such a special Ekadashi. Amrish Maharaj, who is one of the kings of the universe, he was the ancestor of Ramchandra himself. He did Kartik Ekadashi, and he actually came into Srimad Bhagavatam. Imagine being to the point where you get to be in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Parikshit Maharaj was dying, he had 7 days left to live. So being one of the stories that you tell somebody when they're right before they die, because your devotion was so strong that it can create devotion in other people. That level of devotion Amrish Maharaj had. He did the Ekadashi fast on Kartik time. So this is not an ordinary month, and this is not an ordinary Ekadashi either. Upon breaking that Ekadashi, he became so dear to Krishna that when the Ras Muni came to his house, he came at the time of the fast breaking, and he was like, do I eat or do I make sure that they eat? How should I, make sure that I stay within my time? So he took water. It was kind of in between. He didn't eat, but he broke his fast. But the Ras Muni still got angry, and he, I believe he tried to curse Amrish Maharaj?
Yeah.
Yes. And so Amrish Maharaj, he's a humble person. He's just trying to do his service. But Krishna cannot stand offenses against his devotees. So he sent his own Sudarshan Chakra, which actually protected the entire Govardhan hill. Not one blade of grass could move. That Sudarshan Chakra, he sent that weapon to kill the Ras Muni. And the Ras Muni went through the entire universe, to Brahma, to Shiva, to everybody. Save me, save me, save me. Nobody could save him. because Krishna was trying to protect his own devotee who loved him so much. And at the end, he had to go and beg forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj himself, and only then the Sudarshan Chakra went away. So, Kartik Ekadashi is extremely, extremely dear to Krishna. Imagine the devotee who was doing it came into Srimad Bhagavatam for it, so it's not an ordinary time.
Haribo!
Haribo!
So, on Kartik Ekadashi, we are inviting everyone on 23rd November to our home.
Thanksgiving too!
On 23rd November at our home on Ekadashi, we are doing the Ekadashi program.
Ekadashi
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
So we Kartik Ekadashi
Kartik
Thanksgiving.
Ekadashi on
Yes.
23rd.
23rd November.
We've done it before. We've had a totally Ekadasi Thanksgiving before. So
Oh.
yeah, we did it at my apartment years and years, like 10 years ago.
Oh, very
Even
cool.
back when I had resources and money. But
A big, big thank you to Pramod Mataji. Pramod
Yeah.
Meera Mataji.
Pramod Mataji.
They're all one. They're all one unit.
It's a body. We are soul, we are not body.
They say after
Doesn't matter.
after marriage, the man and the woman become one. So it doesn't
No,
matter.
otherwise sometimes that's the body. Oh, it's an outer cover. You are saying it whatever.
And to Vishnu and Baldev too for opening their house on such a special Ekadashi. We're so happy to see your creativity, and we're all gonna contribute our own creative Ekadashi dishes to you too. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. Prasad is my personal favorite way to reciprocate.
Yeah, we'll miss Prabhuji and Mataji. They are going to enjoy in San Francisco.
Aww.
And Mataji has a book. Now, when you said about the book, I remember about like when we were talking about Mataji and the importance of association of Vaishnavas to get the mercy, of God. So I was like, I knew Radharani, but there was like no connection, or I didn't know the background, a lot of her story. And this was like, I think 2 years back, I had an India trip planned, which never happened because I got sick.
Oh.
Just before, like 2 days before, I went and asked Mataji, do you have some books to read for, during the flight? And she has a Radharani book, like she has a book about Radharani, all the pastimes, all the like, her, greatness and like what is she, She's like, I have never read this book, but I think this is like really good. Read this. And she just gave it to me. I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, this is like very high level, Oh, she was like turning it, and she's like, oh, this is like very high level. Read this. And she just gave it to me. And that trip never happened. So I was sick, so I started reading it at home. And like that's when it clicked. That, oh my God. That is Radharani. That's because she just like, even though she never read it, she didn't have to because she already got the mercy. But that, that she gave it, that's only happened because we were able to associate with her.
The irony is that after that we went first. Next trip was the trip we had just now, and we went to Vrindavan.
Oh wow.
She was very
Oh
impressed.
yes. Yeah, that cancelled India trip. This was my after that.
After that,
years.
next trip was, Lord was like, no, don't read about me, and then come to Vrindavan.
After that, I couldn't go like because then last
Maybe
time
she wanted you to be more prepared.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It's like telling about Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. Like first time I went to Vrindavan way back in 2003, and I was like very new to ISKCON and everything. But I heard that the trip going from Bangalore to Vrindavan, I said, yeah, I will also go. And I lied to my parents because they didn't like me going to the ISKCON thing, and so so I told that I'm going for a college trip to Goa.
Oh wow. Let's do that. Don't put them in
The advice was, okay, you're going to college to go, trip to Goa, behave yourself and everything. I said, yes. And so, yeah, exactly. So, and I was in college, so they were like, we're going to go. And they were happy. They were happy that because I was associating with ISKCON, they didn't like it. So they were like, oh, he's going to Goa. That is materialistic world. Let him go. So they were like, ready, go. And they asked me how much is the money. So I I said okay, I lied because I didn't know exactly how much I need to carry. So I said the money which I need to give to the trip to the ISKCON. They were going with 200 boys were going together. So we went to Vrindavan. First day we went to Vrindavan. We went started the Govardhan Parikrama first day because it's 22 kilometers. And in Govardhan it was Radhakund Shankul. Yes? And I had no knowledge about Vrindavan, nothing about Vrindavan, and in Vrindavan, Radhakund and Shyamkund is considered very divine. So people don't stand on the water. They just ISKCON devotees mainly. They just take a sprinkle water and they pray. And I was like, hey, nice water! Everybody was looking at me. What are you doing? You're not supposed to stand on Radhakund. Okay, now you have to take dip. Take dip, then go to Shyamkund, take dip, come back, take dip. And I was like, okay. And I didn't have any dress with me. And I was like, and we are doing Govardhan Parikrama? Yeah, you have to take dip. I'm like, okay. And it's cold in the morning. Okay, take dip. And I did the whole Govardhan Parikrama with red clothes. But that, I strongly feel that was the biggest mercy of Radharani. And that's how I got even 0.0001% of Krishna Bhakti is because of that. Because Radharani made me. Okay, you have not. Take now. So that's the mercy of Radharani.
Please tell that story when my mom comes back.
Yeah. So
She'll be like, oh, me too.
Yeah, that's how Radharani is, you know. She's very merciful. She didn't see whether I'm a devotee or I understand what Radharani is, what ISKCON is, nothing. Right? Hey, you have come, take it.
Come in.
Come in. And then do the Govardhan Parikrama. Govardhan Parikrama is like very auspicious. I'm taking dipped in Radhakund and with the red clothes I'm doing it. And I didn't get sick or anything. It was Radharani's mercy. So yes.
I don't even remember the name.
Really?
But it's here. It's here somewhere. Mataji has to contact Mataji. She's
Next
back.
time I talk to her.
But in that book, very clearly it mentions about the previous lives of like why Radharani.
No, like from Goloka,
Goloka, how she came,
and
why she got the curse from like so she separated with Krishna, how Sudama cursed her, and all that story, and even the importance is
No. It was just one like.
and every detail of Radharani is there.
I just remember the fashions, and it had all the like shaman and the pandits and all the
that's
great
where you came up
devotees.
with that name, Shaman.
Yeah, that's what we wanted, but
So yeah, it's all the great devotee stories and how Radharani was. No, I don't remember the books.
Are you the one who told me the story that like one time Krishna and Arjuna were in Dwarka and Krishna was looking at a lake or his reflection in the water, and he was just looking at it, and he looked at it for a long time, and Arjuna came and asked him, "What are you looking at so much?" And Krishna said, "Within my own self, I see Srimati Radharani," and he was just looking and smiling. Yes. Okay, yeah. And then
Gopikund. It is the Gopikund where gopis and Radharani you would see in the reflection, and they would think of Krishna, and Krishna would see in the lake there and see the thing of Radharani simultaneously. So that is what the importance of Gopikund is. But even in that, when Arjuna asked Krishna, please go ahead.
No, are you the one who told me this story?
I don't know.
Please tell it.
When Arjuna asked Krishna, who was Radharani? Why didn't you tell me about Radharani when you were telling the Bhagavad Gita? Huh? You were telling all that. So Krishna's answer is, if he tells about Radharani and the importance of Radharani, Arjuna would leave everything and go.
Oh, yeah, and then he
And
said,
he will be immersed in the love of Krishna and Radha Krishna. Because that's how important and like blissful it is that if you know Radharani and Radha Krishna, you don't need anything else. Like, you don't need any desire won't be there. Anything, any material platform, anything won't make any sense. Like whatever in the world it is, won't make any sense because that is how divine and pure it is. So it's very important to understand, and it's important to understand that Radha, Rani and Krishna, there is no difference. No difference. They are the same. So
yeah, I think the way, maybe it was you that told me, but the way I heard it was that Krishna said, if I told you Radharani, I would have nothing else to tell you.
Yeah.
And then there would be no fighting, no
Yeah,
Mahabharata.
yeah.
You know,
Nothing
that's
more
why
to say,
your
nothing
grandma was there.
more you to understand, and you won't be there also. Arjuna won't be there also. He won't have any desire.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
The devotee who I mentioned, Pramananda Kumtwa, one quote from her, she says, Krishna is the soul of all souls. Radharani is his soul.
Yes.
She's UrjaVrata.
Yeah.
So after we do prasadam today, we'll all actually get the opportunity to do Damodar Ashtakam together. So I'm excited for that. Are we ready for prasad? Yes. Awesome. So if we can please roll up these mats.
Prabhuji and I did it yesterday in our
जयति तेऽधिकम् जन्मना व्रज